Hi, it's Eric Hartman with another edition of CRF Coffee Talk. I'm here with Beth Foss. Hello, Beth.
Hi, everyone. We're here at the FDA today on a kind of a chilly, so I'm glad we're kind of sitting close to each other on a chilly afternoon. The day started off about 1 o'clock this afternoon, and it just ended a little after 5. This is an FDA seeking information, and it was called The Patient Perspective on the Impact of Rare Diseases, Bridging the Commonalities. And I would say the room was very full, and there were lots of very key... What kinds of things did we learn about today?
Well, the room was so full, they actually had an overflow room and an additional 500 people watching this hearing online. It's the first ever meeting of the FDA seeking the perspective of the rare disease community. It started off with an understanding of what it means to be a rare patient. And there are some pretty terrible syndromes and conditions out there that are heart-wrenching. And to hear the stories of both the patients and the caregivers was incredibly important. Mm-hmm. There were additional discussions about being able to get the correct diagnosis and how to do that. And
so why was this important meeting for the CRF and for the members who are watching? Why was it important for us to be here today?
Well, it was incredibly important because we are some of the fortunate that actually have clinical trials underway and others about to begin. We have funded a lot of preclinical work on additional therapies that are coming down the pipeline, whether it's site replacement therapy, neuroprotective agents. There's a lot that we are trying to get done for the CRF and for the global CHM community. And here was our chance to talk to the regulators, to talk to them about some of the challenges that we as a rare disease community face with our being geographically dispersed all over the world, of the costs involved with people participating in a trial, with their personal time, with their family's time. Mm-hmm. It's a great way to be able to give them our thoughts on those trials.
You know, there were 10 people from the FDA on both sides of the room and at the head table. They asked a lot of key questions. They really wanted to ask people who had been in clinical trials what was our experience with them. Specifically gene therapy. They wanted to talk about natural history studies. What were the complications? What were the considerations? They were taking a lot of notes. And as Eric referenced earlier, you know, we have a diagnosis of 1 in 60,000. That's what currently is being referenced. We sat next to a person who is the 6th person out of, how many was in there?
20.
Yeah, 20. I mean, it was a lot of the people here were just very, very engaged with their organization too. So we were definitely in the right place, definitely at the right time. Switched some cards with people. I think it was a great advocacy opportunity, and great things are coming.
Absolutely. Beth was able to speak on the perspective of a parent, talking about the family decisions, about entering into natural history studies and gene therapy trials and all those considerations. I was lucky enough to talk to Dr. Abernathy, or I was the first questionnaire after she talked, because she is not only a doctor, but she's also on the information side, the data side of the FDA. And I spoke of the incredible importance of being able to free up patient data from our natural history studies and all of these other studies that we as a patient community have participated in, having data sitting somewhere for years and years until the study is completed, and then requiring we as patients, those that do have the time to participate in these studies, to duplicate all those tests over and over is a waste of our time. It's a waste of precious research funding revenue, and we're trying our best to facilitate a quickening of the of research.
You know, one other thing I'm going to say too to our audience, whoever's going to be watching, one thing we learned, if you remember from our last talk, was at Global Genes at the NIH. That was last spring. They talked a lot about registries, and I'm telling you, one of the lead research docs from the devices here at the FDA, they said it is incredibly important for every organization, every rare disease, to have a very robust registry. So for any of you that have not gone on to the registry at the CRF website, that's www.curechm.org, there is a tab for the registry. Please, please, please get yourself, your family registered, because the more robust that we have, the larger it is, the quicker, the faster, the better the data that they can have to push through what we need to have going through.
Absolutely, because it's so important. We are lucky enough to have these trials underway, but until we know where our patient population is, the people that are putting on these trials are hamstrung because they can't do the planning necessary to get the rollout correct. So we are working right now at the CRF to do our best to advance this by having the patient registry. You, and I'm talking to you right there, you know who you are, you haven't joined the registry, and I probably am also pointing to my brother who hasn't done it either. I'll talk to you when I get back to New Orleans. But every person, no matter how stubborn you are, you need to get this done. And this is a global request. Everyone needs to get on this registry so we know where our patient population is. And I also want to put in a great word of thanks all the way in Vancouver, Canada. Today, Dr. Chris Moen and Peter Boone, a CHMer and also a scientist at Duke University, who's volunteered his time on behalf of our foundation to continue to work at the ARVO, which is the Association of Research in Vision and Ophthalmology. It is the largest international gathering of researchers in the world. Chris Moen spoke on 2 panels. He spoke on behalf of us and his experiences as a CHM patient to let the researchers understand what it means to live with blindness. Also, we had a SIG, a special interest group meeting, and that we've already had 2 on choroideremia, and this one was also sponsored by the CRF, but it was also to look to the future for the possibility of multiple therapies as the end perfect result in the future for curing and treating choroideremia, whether it's a gene therapy with a follow-up for site replacement therapy, or the possibility of having 2 different types of gene therapy. It's all there, and we have to be able to plan for it. So we want to thank each and every one of you for watching this. Don't forget, go to chmregistry.org and join the registry. Is that it for you?
I think it's dinner time.
It's dinner time. Time for coffee.
So we just want to say again, once again, everybody who's in the Choroideremia Research Foundation, our members, our families, our loved ones, our friends, we are very honored to be here to represent all of you. And just thank you. Thank you for that. And we're getting there. One day at a time.
We are.
We're getting there. So
research moves slowly.
But this was a big step.
This was a big step, and we're doing everything we can to hasten it. So stay tuned for more coffee talk
Coffee talk.
from the CRF. See y'all later. Bye.
Bye.